Welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave, and it's a very glorious Saturday morning over here because it's nice and overcast, so no more hot weather for me, no more sweating all the nonsense out. There's actually plenty to discuss on Bitcoin. In fact, a very fun day ahead, I do believe, for especially a weekend right here, as Bitcoin got a pretty beautiful closure coming in on the end week for CME and of course spot price action on Friday yesterday. Anyways, with that said, I would like to wish you the best and the happiest as always, because why the fuck not, man? Hopefully it can help, or maybe just at least it doesn't hurt, you know, at the very best it's, or at the very worst it's neutral. And with that, so let's get into the Krown application over here, which we found at app.krown.net. By the way, the link is in the description below, and it's 100% free as well. And we have the most quant data available to the interwebs that I'm aware of for the price of zero. Anyways, with that said, what do we see that is new over here? Bitcoin dominance steadily rising, as we did identify over the past few days that a bounce on the Bitcoin dominance chart is very likely in line. Now, with that in mind, it is still a macro downturn right there, but it does allow for, you know, a pretty nice move right here. And we do say this current rally is Bitcoin led, which is a good sign for the overall health of the market, at least in my opinion, and at least in my experience. We do want to see Bitcoin more or less lead these strong rallies, and that kind of sets the tone for the rest of the market. Anyways, with that in mind, we see that the fear and greed index is pretty much neutral right there, a little bit, I suppose, below neutral if you want to say, but anywhere between 40 and 60 is pretty much inconsequential, not worth talking about. And as far as top 10 best coins go, we see some big winners yet again: Avalanche, IOTA, Ren. Wait, no, I'm thinking of something else. Anyways, Phantom, EOS, Thorchain, Filecoin, Polygon, Zeke. Oh, dear Lord, Zeke is on the winners list too. Oh boy, it's going to be an interesting 24 hours, I expect. It's going to be a very, very fun weekend. And let's go to the market data tab over here. Let's see what we got going on. Global fund rates continues to kind of trend down here. It's more or less at, I imagine, you know, just below parity right there. It's not anything too crazy to be speaking about. And that is, I mean, actually even below par for the course. So I expect that some exchanges actually negative in that, as it is an average and it is a balance of all of the major exchanges. So people are, technically speaking, some people are paying too hot to your shorts. And more importantly with that, you have to realize that neutral essentially for this is 0.01%, which is what I consider par for, I mean, that is par for the course, you know, no doubt about that. But whenever you see it even below that, that does suggest that we perhaps could see a little bit of some squeezing action in line with what we see over here on the global leverage ratio. Now, neither of these two things are conclusive. I really want to see these at extremes, of which neither are right now, but they are starting to build up. So I expect that we will see a culmination of this probably in the week to come, if I had to guess. Anyways, the global leverage ratio is nearing those same areas that we saw on September 7th, on August 15th, and of course, late November in here, all of them 20 to 30% corrections, or actually in some cases more. Anyways, the more important thing with that is that while all these examples actually have led to some downside, it's not always going to imply downside. It's a function of which side is more over leveraged, the shorts or the longs. And right now, we don't really get too much from this. If anything, it would be a little bit more on the short side, because again, parity is 0.01%, but it's so inconsequential that it's not worth talking about. On top of that, open interest actually taking a little bit of a dipola right there, as well as price action does go up. So what does that imply? That does imply that shorts are probably letting go of their positions, as Bitcoin essentially reclaims the median of the range between that last major dump from September 7th and where we're at right now. So with that in mind, that would be a little bit more on the neutral / bullish side. And we do see that global exchanges are Bitcoin Reserve continuing with the massive mega downtrend right there. Anyways, with that said, let's get into the actual price charts right now. Let's waste no more time, and I want to make this video a little bit more on the shorter side. Hey, what do we have right here? A beautiful bounce off the yellow 21 exponential average, and most importantly, if I do want to follow up on yesterday's price action, did we break the 21, or more importantly, did we break below 47,000 bucks? Got a wick below there. That's okay though. No closures below there on a daily, and that is what matters most. And this is why I do put a lot of significance on these higher term time frames, especially in these major pivotal moments right here. And could this perhaps be your next higher low? Maybe better seen on like a 12-hour, you know, on this current short-term reversal. Perhaps it could be. In fact, this would very much look like it on the 12-hour right here. In fact, anyways, before I get ahead of myself, we do see on the daily multiple drafts of hidden bullish evidence, of which another is about to get confirmed right here as well on today's daily total closure, with a closure anywhere, especially above about 48,000 bucks, going to look very, very good. Of course, daily jewels kind of been leading this rally ever since 15th of September right here, or 14th, 15th right here. And does look like it still has perhaps a little bit more. And then if we do go over, or perhaps before we go over to CME, I do want to check over the 2-day, and what do we see right here? Yeah, again, some more good stuff. We do see 2-day hidden bullish evidence playing out back above the exponential on 2-day RSI, looking good, looking strong. And then of course the 5-day was the big focus yesterday. And did we get that bullish engulfing dildo? We did, technically speaking, we did. Although it wasn't as strong as what I would have liked to have seen. it would have been a lot more easy to kind of call a move back up north of 50,000 bucks if Bitcoin did close that last 5 day last night at or at least above 48,000 bucks. Instead, we closed, I believe, 47,500 or so, actually just below there, in fact. Right now, while things do look good for the short term, that is going to start to edge at least my sort of ideology and what I'm looking for general continuation a little bit higher, because I do want to play this a little bit more on the conservative side. As to be fair, as long as Bitcoin is below 50,000 bucks, especially, this is still just, a lower high. And of course, we did get a lower low over here. So the trend is a little bit in limbo. It's not a confirmed reversal just yet, but it's worth paying attention to, obviously. So with that in mind, instead of saying 49,000 bucks, I'd really want to see 49,500 actually on spot price action if it happens over the weekend. If Bitcoin can start to close above there, I will be happy to call this or confirm this as the mega bear trap that we postulated. I think it was like a week and a half ago now. I still have that video up, or I never really take videos down anyway. So there you go. It's there for you whenever you want in the long-term analysis playlist in 40 minutes long of detail, which I can bore the shit out of you with. Anyways, more importantly with that, I would not confirm this as a bear trap until that level is taken out, specifically on a weekend, based off of the way that the 5-day closed yesterday. Or if we do see it over the weekdays, come Monday, if Bitcoin does close above 49,000 bucks, then I'd say that would be equally as good as well. And I'd just generally be looking for that next float to the upside with, areas of interest along the way. Obviously 5 to 53,000 bucks can be a big area of interest, but realistically, I would be looking for a general move to the upside, somewhere around the top side of our last thick volume profile nodes right around here, which is essentially your May breakdown, right? Which was about 56 to 58,000 bucks. And I'd just be looking for a general move around there. It is also of particular interest here as well, as Bitcoin does hold above the green 55, and we do still remain with positive curvature right there. And I do still look at this as an active golden cross on over here. You'll notice that I have not mentioned the simple moon average golden cross at all whatsoever throughout this whole move, because, well, I really don't I really don't care about some moving average crosses. You can kind of back test them yourself and come up with your own opinions about them, of course, as well. But I'd suggest that you do that, because the results might be a little bit surprising, and I don't want to waste time on this current video doing that right now. So we'll just move on. Anyways, did we close a 3-day last night? No, we're closing it tonight actually. A 3-day above 49.5 would be very obviously looking like we're going to go much higher. And then let's go down to the short-term timeframes right over here and see what we got going on. In fact, I'm going to pull up a fresh chart so we can do this for the weekend, and I can just keep it consistent over the weekend. All right, so what do we got going on right here? Well, we do have a bit of a short-term structure now, don't we? We got 48,350, and we got our lows at 47,300. And of course, we did call out that we were operating within some sort of a falling channel right here yesterday, and that is looking like it's pretty much resolved right here. The technical target on that, if I recall, was about 49,000 bucks, which we are very close to right now. And I'll probably be looking for maybe a extremely short-term time frame pullback right there. Realistically, though, I do think Bitcoin will test into the $49,000 territory, probably up to 49,500. The real question is what happens there specifically over the weekend. Now, I could also call a major bear trap right here as well, or not call it, because I do think that is what's actually happening. I actually do think that's what's happening. It's been saying, but I wouldn't confirm it if I was going to use a short-term time frame like a 4-hour until we do get closures back above about. Could I use 50,000 bucks? You probably could use 50,000 bucks if you want to go buy the book. 50,500 would be the area to be looking at. 12-hour would be 50,000 bucks actually. So probably going to be one and the same anyways. And while we're on here on the 12-hour, what are we looking for? Oh, what's this? We do have, by the way, first, let's start off with the most important thing. Well, we do have a confirmed reversal right here. We did not technically have a reversal on the 12-hour just yet until actually pretty much just now, because it was lower low, or high. This was lower low, obviously, and this was a lower high right here in comparison to this high. However, now we do have our first higher low, and we've obviously already taken out that prior high, so this is by definition a higher high. That is accompanied by an expansive volatility read coming off of a 0 percentile right on over here from the BBWP. So we got trend, and we have volatility, and where's momentum? 12-hour RSI reaching back up towards the bullish control zone, riding the exponential, looking really good right there. And 12-hour Joule has actually lost its, it's actually still positively curved, but we don't actually have the signal itself, although it looks like we probably do get one more drive there. Looking decent. Anyways, go back down to the 4-hour right here and see, is there anything else to be aware of right here? Actually, there is. Again, BBWP on the fucking floor for the 4 hours. So we are looking for expansion, probably, very likely today, probably tomorrow. And we do see that 4-hour Joule has had a full-on reset right here, now getting positive curvature once again, combined with the DMI, which is good. So I do put the favor in the Bulaw's courts yet again, and you know, this is, you know, I got a lot of shit for being bullish in this area right around here, but you know, again, just understand, you know, very simple structure. As long as Bitcoin's above these regions, I don't really have a reason, specifically in my own trading plan, and of course everyone has different trading plans, to, you know, let go of those opinions. And that's really what it's all about, sticking to your rules within these sort of formations right here. Anyways, momentum also, as far as we see them, we do see that daily Stokes remain to the upside as long as above 45,300. Looks, or right now, rather likely, although crazy things have happened in the 3,000 plus dump OLA before end of day. 12 hours going to be up and at 'em if we do close above 48,500 yet again, and 4 hour is going to be freshly crossing up, in fact, freshly coming in, even playing out a bit of a regression from all these areas right here, right? You just kind of run a best fits, goes all the way through here, also protecting against the edge of the bearish control zone, by the way, as well. And will be positively curvatured as long as this one's above 47,650 by closure, which is in 1 hour 49 minutes and 48 seconds. So looking pretty good right there. If we go down to like the very, very low term time frames, do we see anything of particular interest? Buy hourly is already closed on new highs. That's definitely bearish, right? Definitely fucking bearish. Hourly, you know, same thing as well. Looking nice and strong right there. And did the 3 hour close on new highs as well? It did. Hey, not bad. A fresh cross up there as well. So looking good. And I believe the 2-day is going to follow through. Oh, and that's right. It's not closing today. It's closing tomorrow. So 46.5 will be the magical number right there. And then the 3-day is closing today. Magical number is going to be 52,000, or yeah, about 52,000 bucks right there. So probably not happening anytime soon. Anyways, as we do kind of peruse around, do I want to go back on over here? Do I want to go on anything over here? I don't really have too many new things to be speaking about over here, but there was one thing, right? There was one thing on the ADR that I was checking out. And are we there? I think it was on the 2-day. No, maybe 3-day, maybe 5-day. No, it must have been on CME, and CME is not trading over the weekend, so this is going to be not helpful. Anyways, just for reference, keep in mind, CME did close the day out at 47,500. By the way, I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of questions about this. If you want the closing price for CME, use the daily here. If you go down to the hourly, you're going to see that this one came all the way down, slinked all the way down to like 46,950. That's not what I'd be looking for or judging this off of. I look at this one right here. This is obviously very, very fine, and you know, did still close above the 21, actually even close above all major moving averages. So I have no major issues with this as well. We see pretty much the same signals we do on spot price action, just not as mature actually, which does add on to the case that if we really do see Bitcoin kind of start to crack above, you know, these critical territories of 49,500, this is going to be a phenomenal expansion right here on BBWP, or very, very likely to be. I mean, the last one that we were this low was actually a year ago, in fact, literally a year ago, early October of 2020. And what happened over there? Well, we can actually look at that. In fact, relatively similar over here as well. You might remember this, you know, where Bitcoin popped up, had a nice run, boom, dropped down. Everyone got super bearish right here. But Bitcoin didn't even make a lower low on any time frame that mattered. And what happens after that? Higher low, and then boom, there's your first higher high, expansion right there, boom, alongside the jewel, and off we fucking go. Do we have a similar setup over here right now? Actually, we do. Volatility on the ground. We do have that first major dump off. Bitcoin's starting to fight it off right now. Daily jewel has lots of downside curvature. Certainly, the second that we start to get that cyan read alongside, which we already have, hidden bullish evidence on the daily, you know, well, you know where I'm probably going with that anyways. And obviously that was... that led up to, look, I'm not saying that this what's going to happen, but that did lead up to about 100% move over the next couple months. Before the next sort of daily correction. Of course, we did have an example like right before that as well, where BBWP was on the ground, and this one was almost an immediate 30% move to the upside, actually. Yeah, 35% move right there. What other times we have other than that? Way back on over here. That would be April 2019, and of course, this was a phenomenal move as well, going all the way from like almost 4,000 to, well, technically like 14,500 or so over time, but almost immediately about 50% up. So we are very likely looking at a humongous move right here. Of course, this always comes with an invalidation point on the other side, but would anything change actually here? Not really. I've been saying mostly the same shit for the last 3-4 days now. Look, as long as Bitcoin's above 47,000 bucks, I don't really have a good reason personally to get bearish on like the daily time frame, or really any time frame that I think matters for like the general trend. I mean, that's kind of like the lowest one that I go to, maybe the 12 hour in that case. You know, if we go down to the very short-term timeframes, obviously there's been a lot of trades on both sides, and I know that plenty of people have been making some great trades on both sides. Hey, more credit to you. That's fucking awesome. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to call this one out as well. We did see, of course, that CME did get that lovely silver cross, which I do suspect is playing out as well in the 4-hour. Anyways, we're already 15 minutes into this video, probably 15 minutes too long. Apologies on that. So I should talk about the invalidation though. Yet again, if Bitcoin were to come back down and take out 47,000 bucks, I would be looking for another run at about 45, and probably try for a bounce down and come back to it after that and judge if this one really wants to go lower or not. But for right now, we set up for a decent weekly closure. You know, at least, you know, anything like this is pretty damn good. If you get something like this, like a massive red dildo or a massive green dildo, you want to see continuation relatively fast before anything like we're seeing right here. If the move's really going to hold up, you don't really give people like a second chance to get out of their longs, and you also don't give people like a second chance to short around the top. Typically, in my experience, you kind of if it is going to be like a full-on dump hole, you want to dump it and then fucking dump it again really fast, like what you saw right here, right? Dump it down, boom, new low, and dump it again right in your face before you can react. Same thing over here, right? Dump it down, boom, dump it lower again. And then this one comes down significantly over time. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for this video. Pretty damn simple one today. I would expect a bit of a range in the short-term timeframes. However, understand, you know, just because this one is somewhat breaking out right now, it doesn't mean that it's just going to like be a fucking straight green dildo to the skies. You know, even if I'm on like a 2-hour right here, I would still say that, you know, if this thing came back down to 48,000 bucks, that wouldn't be too problematic. You know, but I should also offer up an invalidation point on the short-term timeframes while we're at it, and I would actually say probably about 48,000 bucks, probably on a 2-hour, preferably on a 4-hour. Until then, I just see, or at least I'm just looking for a general upside continuation. Hope this one was helpful. I'll be signing off now. Take care, and hopefully see you in the future.